Hey guys, it's Jake with Emotiva, and today we're going to go over the new A2 Plus Height Ceiling and Surround Speaker. The A2 Plus speaker is a newly designed surround speaker designed for a wide variety of applications, including your simple, more standard configurations like 5 or 7 channel systems, all the way up to your big 16 channel surround systems that make use of Dolby Atmos and DTS-X. Some of the new key features of the A2 Plus speaker are the 32mm folded ribbon tweeter, which is now fully rotatable, the 5¼ mid-bass driver, the non-magnetic peg-style mounting for the grill. That's so if you mount it on the ceiling, it doesn't accidentally vibrate itself off the front of the speaker. If we move to the back side here, we'll notice the newly designed deep cup for the binding posts. That's to allow for bulky speaker connections like bananas or spades, so it can flush mount against the wall or ceiling. And finally, we'll notice holes at the top here. There's also another set at the very bottom here for the newly designed mounting bracket. As mentioned earlier, the A2 Plus comes with a newly designed rotatable tweeter that allows you to rotate the tweeter for a wide variety of mounting applications. Before we get into those mounting applications, let me show you how to rotate the tweeter. Before we get started with rotating the tweeter, let's go over the tools that you'll need. The most important tool you'll need is a T10 Torx driver. Optionally, you can use something like a razor blade to gently unseat the folded ribbon tweeter when it's time to rotate it. Now make note that you're only removing the 4 screws that are attached to the tweeter, not any of the screws by the 5¼ mid-bass driver. I'm going to go ahead and start unscrewing them here. And now we're just going to use our blade to gently unseat the folded ribbon tweeter. And then at this point, we just gently pull the tweeter out, and then we can rotate it any direction we'd like here at this point. The reason that we're going to rotate it any direction that we need to is because we want the Emotiva logo to be upright depending on which side of the wall you're going to be mounting it on. Gently set it back in like this. And then repeat the process with putting the screws back in. Also, when you're tightening the screws down again, you don't need to over tighten by any means at all. Just make sure that they're tightened down and are just snug. If you're going to be using an electronic screwdriver, make sure you have the chuck set to the lowest setting possible to avoid stripping the screws. And as easy as that, we just rotated the tweeter. Now that we went over how to rotate the tweeter, let's go over how to install the mounting bracket to the speaker. Now in real-world applications, the mounting bracket is already going to be mounted to either the wall or the ceiling. For the sake of this demonstration though, I'd like to show you how the A2 Plus actually settles into the mounting bracket. You'll first want to make sure that you locate the 2 mounting nibs here and here. And again, on the larger end of the speaker, you want to make sure that you find the 2 mounting holes here where the nibs settle in. You'll then take the speaker, you'll gently set it in the bracket, and then we move it up, make sure the nibs go into the holes, and you push gently, and you'll feel it kind of nestle or just snap into position. Then, on the other end of the bracket, you just let the speaker fall in, or if you need to, you can just nestle it in. You can kind of move the little flap up a little bit, and then the speaker will nestle right in there. Finally, you'll take 2 of the screws that were included with the kit, and you'll just screw them into place just like this. And that completes putting the speaker in the bracket. Now that we've seen how easy it is to rotate the new tweeter and install the mounting bracket on the A2 Plus speaker, I'd like to show you some of the mounting applications. I'll start with this speaker where the tweeter is actually in the upright position for vertical mounting. For systems where you're going to be using this new speaker as a height speaker in an Atmos system, you're going to want to mount it as high as possible up towards where the ceiling meets the wall. For a non-Atmos system, perhaps a 9 or an 11 channel system where you're going to use a height speaker, you'd want to bring it down about a foot or 2 just so it's not up as high. For horizontal mounting, we're going to switch back to this speaker where we've already rotated the tweeter for horizontal mounting. When you mount it horizontally in the wall, you want to make sure that it's about ear height and that the front of the speaker is facing the listening position as much as possible. Finally, you can mount the speaker actually on the ceiling. I'll switch back to the speaker we used earlier. And when you mount it to the ceiling, you're going to want to make sure that we use the new purpose-built bracket, and then the speaker actually hangs on the ceiling more or less like this. For any information or help on installing the speaker in the ceiling, check out the installation video where Emotiva's very own Damon goes over suggestions and tips for installing in the ceiling. And that about wraps it up for our brief overview of the new A2 Plus speaker. I hope you really enjoyed it, and from all of us here at Emotiva, happy listening. See ya.